Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. This is Jim Moyna, professional bass fisherman. The channel is Moyna Bass Fishes. In this video, we are going to discuss basically the status of where I'm at in the Bass Opens as we begin practicing tomorrow for our 6th tournament. This will be on Lake St. Clair here in Michigan. So we got 9 tournaments total. So this is number 6. Then we go to Leech Lake. Then we go to the Mississippi River by La Crosse. And then we go to Lake Hartwell at the very end. So Lake St. Clair, that's where we're at. Now, my goal, this is the whole goal this year. Main number 1 goal is to finish top 9 in Angler of the Year points for the Bassmaster Opens. By doing so, then I would be eligible to compete in the 2025 Bassmaster Elite Trail. So right now, I am 27th in the points. I was 39th coming into the last tournament. My 31st place finish there moved me up to 27th in the Angler of the Year points. I am what I believe, if I remember the math that I did a couple weeks ago, right after the tournament, I believe I'm 108 points away from 9th place. And there are, if I'm 27th, then that means there's what, 17 anglers between me and 9th place. So, a top 10 finish here would go a long way to making up some ground. But even then, I probably would not make it all the way to the top 9. But I do need, out of the last 4 tournaments, I probably need 2 top 10 finishes. So let's frickin' book one of them this week. That's what we got to do. But we're not going to force it. We're going to go out. We're going to fish. We're going to let the fish come to us. We're going to try not to force anything on it. We're going to just, do what we can with what we find. Okay? Do what we can with what the conditions offer. That's what we got to do. But a top 10 would be nice to log. So, anyhow, that's where I'm at as far as the points go. As far as this lake goes, I've probably, now we're going out of the area towards Metro Park, and I don't know, it doesn't matter where I go out of this tournament. I've never had a really good tournament on this lake. Yes, it's in the north. Yes, it's smallmouth fishing. No, I don't do good here. That's going to have to change. Not sure what I got to do to make it change, but I know all about all the historic baits that have, given guys top finishes here. I know all about them. So my bait selection is not going to, that's not going to be the limiting factor. It's all about getting around the fish, okay? Getting around them and recognizing that I am around them, and then taking one of these good baits that I have tied on one of the many rods I'll have in the boat, and just figuring out which bait is the right one for the condition. All right, so how do I feel? Well, going into it, like I said, it's been kind of a rough road for me on this lake. So it's intimidating. This whole schedule, there was a lot of freaking traps in this whole schedule for me, and this is one of them. All right. Actually, they all are like traps to me. The whole schedule the whole schedule was very just unsettling for me. There's not a whole lot of comfort zones on that schedule. So this one's another one of those. We are going to, it's July 5th. I guess I got some extra fireworks. Go USA. All right. So we're going to have to I totally forgot my train of thought now. Let's see. Okay. All right. We're talking about where I finished in the angular year points, where I'm at. Okay, now we're talking about the schedule, talking about Lake St. Clair, my comfort level here. So how do I overcome my discomfort with this lake? How do I overcome that? I'm going to overcome it. Well, first of all, I have to stay positive. Okay, these are after I hit rock bottom earlier this year. I recognized that I wasn't staying positive. I got to keep positive. I have to just not let the little things get me down. I got to just fish through the little adversities, fish through the big adversities. Just accept whatever comes my way in the form of adversity and just plow through it. Okay, don't get pissed, don't get frustrated. Although there are frustrations in tournament bass fishing, just don't let it get the best of, not going to let it get the best of me. The other things, I got to make sure that I'm well rested, or the best rest. I can't short my rest. That's real important. And the last 2 nights, I really haven't slept well. So let's hopefully tonight, I'm feeling really tired right now. So hopefully tonight, I really feel like once I lay down, I'm going to go right to sleep. And hopefully I sleep all night. And sleep's going to be important through the whole week. I got to maintain that. The other thing is, I've got to eat the proper foods, okay? A proper diet of the right types of foods. That's just going to be very beneficial. Then I got to make sure I stay on top of my hydration. It's not going to be like Oklahoma was, where it was extremely hot, extremely humid, but we are going to see days in the 80s. Hydration, if I let it get away from me, if I don't take a drink until like 2 in the afternoon, that's too late. Got to make sure I stay on top of that hydration, keep my head in the game. I can't get fatigued. Being fatigued in the boat means you're losing your creativity, you're losing your drive, you're losing your push, you're losing your you're losing your awareness of how you're fishing, how your retrieves are. You're not picking up on subtle signs that possibly are presenting themselves. So, and you're just not, you just get, when I get fatigued, I get into robot mode where I'm just robotically casting and winding. If I'm fishing a jerkbait, it's the same jerks every time, robotically fishing. It's just robot mode, okay? Robot mode is not good. The only time it's good is if that's what the fish are actually going for. But if they ain't going for it and I get stuck in robot mode, that's a time waster. It's not teaching me nothing, and it's fatigue. I find myself in robot mode when when I'm dulled. My mind is dulled from just the grind, the sun, the rain, the wind, the lack of sleep, the lack of hydration, the lack of good nutrition dulls my mind and encourages robot mode and discourages the right kind of brain and mental approach. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video. This lake scares me. Because I've never tapped into it. I've never unlocked this lake. There's so many fish out here. I've always caught fish out here, but it's not the big fish. It's the also ran fish. So I need to get out here. I need to figure it out. I got 5 days. That's good, because usually I don't have 5 days to practice out here. And there is one wild card in this whole pre-fishing thought train. Now, we can literally drive all the way up to Lake Huron and fish the southern end of Lake Huron if we want. We can fish the Huron River, we can fish Lake St. Clair, we can fish the Detroit River, or we can fish the western basin of Lake Erie. So my wild card is the last time I was on this playing field, we went out of Sandusky, Ohio, on the western basin of Lake Erie, and I actually had a really good tournament. Finished in the top 10. So I don't want to go to Lake Erie, so I'm going to fish all that I can here in Lake St. Clair, which is a huge lake, and see if I can't just get it done in this lake. But if it gets down to be the last practice day and I got nothing substantial going, then I probably will take a look at Lake Erie as a freaking Hail Mary kind of a practice day. Well, there you go. There's kind of the situation at hand, what I'm looking at, what I'm dealing with. It's scary, because out of the last 4 tournaments, just any hiccup in my fishing is going to pretty much derail me off this goal of fishing the Elite Series in 2025. I've had some hiccups this year, too many of them. So the rest of the way, we're really going to have to, fish. Things are just going to have to, I can't just botch stuff, okay? The fish, the big ones that bite, got to get in the boat. I've got to put the boat by the big fish, where they're at. These are things that all have to happen. And this video is over.